introduction to business. They will learn something about economics, business economics. They will learn something about communication. They will learn something about management. But the project will be leading in that in order for them to get full insights on how a business works. And in that way you can still connect the dots. So whereas you now can connect the dots within a specific subject, like we learned this in economics, then this is quite obvious. You will now go to, we learned this in economics and we learned this in management. That relates to each other. So it's just a different way of connecting the dots. Only now you will have a more thorough insight in the workings of an organization from the first block onwards in order to understand the next themes and the next subjects that you will be taught about.
And this is only for the first year?
Yes.
So the import company is still going to be valid?
Well, for the people who are in the first year right now, it is, and it will remain in year 2. However, when this is done, year 1, we will go and redevelop year 2. So it goes for each year. So the students who will start from next year onward will be in a fully new curriculum.
Okay.
And from when will you know what the overview for the full 4 years will look like? After 4 years, because that's going to take a while.
To be honest, then we know exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Now we have like kind of a point on the horizon to reach for, because we know what kind of skills and knowledge students should have when they leave here. But there's still a lot unknown. For instance, when students go and study abroad or an internship, we're not sure about that yet, because we had to research quite a lot to make sure that everything could happen the way we wanted it. And now it seems to be the case that it isn't feasible what we wanted, so we have to redesign year 2, 3, and 4. But that also matters for how the study program is going to look like.
Yeah, but we can tell them that they will be doing import company, they will be doing an internship abroad, and they will be doing the study abroad.
Yes.
Yeah.
The question is when.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. True.
So to go back to this introduction to business thing, because I said 5 projects. Well, the first project is going to be somewhat smaller, because you just come here then as a new student and you're like, okay, what is this? So you first will go and have some lessons on subjects, and then there will be a business game. And in this game, you are confronted with the fact that departments have to collaborate with each other. So then, for instance, Giovanni would be part of the finance team of a company, and Tilman would be part of the communication team. But then Tilman finds out to do his work properly that he needs budget and that he has to talk to Giovanni. And Giovanni, on the other hand, needs information to set a budget for Tilman to do his work properly. So that's the way we see that. And then there will be multiple departments, of course. So it will be quite a large team. But then you see like the dependencies between the different departments.
So I like the idea of this business game, that you have sort of a part of a department. For example, Timo will be working in the communication department. Then he doesn't have a lot of insight of the finance, how it's really going to work there.
Yes, and that's why the interdependencies will be built in. But we're still constructing the project. It's just to give you a general idea of how that will work.
Okay.
And for instance, the project with the country analysis, the D-step, the PESTEL, whatever, will still be included in the international business environment, so you can tell about that. The project about the strategic plan, so the internal and external analysis, will still be part of the first year, because as you can see here, there's still internal and external analysis going on in the first year. So it's just a different way of organizing the study program in order to make it not easier, but in a way more organized. Okay. Any questions still about the business? Okay. Now the most exciting thing for us, because this wasn't really part of the curriculum now, so we're still a little bit fake on this, but for you to know already, there will be a personal readiness track or professional identity. We're still struggling with the name a little bit, but now you have business subjects in which you also acquire skills with regard to presentation, sales conversation, that sort of stuff. That will be taken out of the international business subjects and will go into this track. So there will be a separate course, professional identity, which runs throughout the first year in 2 semesters. So you have semester 1 and semester 2. And there students will acquire presentation skills, planning skills, collaboration skills. So that's more on the soft side of the business, I would say. But you have to develop them well in order to do well on your internship. So they're more separated from the business courses. However, this will still link to the themes, as will the languages. Languages will also teach you something about how to use the language with regard to the theme that the business subjects focus on. So it's like an integrated process, but they're still separate courses. The upside for students is that there will be 16 assessments only. Throughout the year, there will be 16 test moments. And that's a lot less than it is now.
Now you have 5
But-
per exam week for us. So 5 exams.
Yeah, but you also have presentations.
Plus presentations,
and
rules,
stuff
so
like
Yeah,
we're
that.
over
but
30
that's
probably.
yeah, and that will be taken out of the study program then.
Yeah.
So there's less tests. However, the test will be bigger, of course.
And will there also be something like an entry requirements in terms of presenting or whatever? Because there's some people who can't really present.
We're not allowed to do that.
No.
So no. So the only requirements will be the requirements that you already know, and well, I guess Claire already told you about economics being more prominent in those requirements, but we will not have any entry requirements for language because we cannot do that. However, students have to start at level 3, so it would be wise for them to already have some knowledge about the language that they will follow at a higher level.
It is kind of an entry requirement then.
Yeah. We don't call it an entry requirement, but otherwise you will have major trouble succeeding.
And for the English, you still have the enroll test.
The diagnostic
Yes.
test in the
Yeah.
beginning of the
Yeah,
year.
but again, we cannot say you failed, so you cannot.
Oh, you can do the, oh.
No.
What about for international students? Do they have to do the IELTS test or TEFL or something like that?
Do you know that, Claire?
That's language, English language.
Yeah.
level
So
test.
Yeah.
It's always dependent on where you're from in your education, and not just going to change.
Yeah.
But for example, I had English in my Abitur, so my A levels in Germany, so I didn't need any training.
No, but exactly. But you need something comparable. So it needs to be
Yeah.
comparable with HAVO and then the grade 7. And it really depends on the country, where you are from. So, for example, you did A levels, well, then you can, and you had English, and you passed that, so then you can enter anyways, So it really depends on the country. And a TOEFL score could also
Yeah.
be good, but I don't know by heart what the score
Then
should
have
be.
to
But in the requirements, like when I registered here, was like that I have to make the TOEFL test. But then I emailed them, and then they said like if we are from Germany and have A level, then we can come without
Yes.
TOEFL test. But I think for different European countries, you have to make the TOEFL test.
Yeah.
So what I would do if that question comes up, I would just refer to the Center of International Affairs
Yeah.
because it depends on the country
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
students are from. And I don't think there will be that many international students, but
No.
we just want to
Yeah.
to make sure that you are aware of like the entry level, preferable entry level requirements, to call it like that, for the languages.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So
What else?
I would have a question on languages.
yes,
You said they're also referring to like the theme of the blog,
yes,
but you can start at level 1 and level 3. So
yes.
if the person at level 3 can of course be a first year or a second year student, then are you splitting the, for example, level 3 courses to make sure they can fit the subject? Because otherwise they would have like a mixture of two topics or
Yes.
something in the
So-
same language class.
So what's going to happen is you have two
Good
different
question.
languages indeed. It is a good question.
Yeah.
And you have then the intensive level language and the regular level language. And the intensive level language is the language in which you will also apply things for the business themes. The regular level language, that's not a part of that. So you will have more hours to spend on the intensive level language than on the regular. Because with the regular it's only learning the language as such, and with the intensive level language it's like studying the language and also applying it to business cases.
Because then if you have like your regular language in year 1, then it becomes more or less the intensive language of year 1, year 2. And
But that's not true.
No, that's like the same level as the intensive language
Mhm.
of the one in year 1. And are those still in the same mixed classes, like the different years? Or
No, they're totally split because we are going to offer the regular level language with the IBMS department. So it could also be that there are some IBMS students in the regular level language track.
Is it still possible that you can follow 3 languages, or isn't that any?
Well, I cannot really answer that question at the moment, but because I foresee major scheduling issues. But as we don't know how many hours we're going to lecture each week, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
We have like an idea that it would be an average of 20 hours each week, but it could be that the one week it's 16 hours and the other week it's 24. And then we might not be able to to offer the different languages. So, what is really important for this Saturday, we always had this information folders for students, but as you now know, the information that's in there doesn't apply to the new curriculum, because there's a lot of examples and a lot of information in there for the current curriculum, so the study program you are following, but that isn't necessarily true for the new one. So what we try to do on a regular basis is to update the information that's online. So it would be better to refer students or prospective students to the website, because otherwise you give them false information and then we would have a major issue. So, second thing, you can still use the project you're currently working on as an example, because we will still use bits and pieces of every project, maybe in a different way, but they will still be included in the study program one way or another. And last but not least, you now have economics and all the other subjects, but students will not have those subjects separately anymore from next year onwards. So that will be also a major difference compared to your experience. So you could also still point out your experiences, but then also make sure that prospective students are aware that they will be offered the same things in a different way. It's quite a complex story, isn't it? Yeah, we thought about this for half a year, so still not really done, because now we have to really construct the courses, but this is what we know now.
Is there also anything known already about because they will be readers?
We hope to have that set in April.
Okay.
Because
No.
as we don't know what